Joining us now is George Pammer, and we're going to be talking about divorce and why it could be a happy thing. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Donna. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. As somebody that has decided to become single twice in my life, it's nice to have you here. One of the things that I learned about you as we were talking backstage is the fact that you are very other-centered. A lot of times attorneys get like a really bad rap for being like maybe conceited, or something like, standoffish, right? Just like, sadly, used car salesmen also have stereotype. But you're here to help me debunk that myth, right? So tell me what it is about the law that you find joy in helping others.
So I think, especially as a divorce attorney, I think we really do have the bad rap. It's kind of the butt of the joke, so to speak.
Right.
And I've actually been divorced. I've gone through it myself. I've gone through different custody issues and battles in court. So I have a real relation to the person who's sitting in that chair in front of me. They have a lot of questions. They have a lot of fears. They don't know what their financial situation is going to be. They don't know where they're going to live. They don't know if they're going to see their children or how they're going to see their children. So I like to be able to take them and walk them through the process because I've had the experience myself. And I think I can help them get through to the other side where all those questions become answered.
Why is it not like systematic? Like New York State is not a 50-50 state. It's like an equitable distribution state, right?
Correct.
But then the person that decides what's equitable is who? The judge?
So generally the judge.
Okay.
I'm going to say the overwhelming majority of divorces actually settle. But the equitable distribution law is for the purposes of being fair, right? So a 50-50 state doesn't take into account ownership, any finances that have been put towards a particular item or an asset, right? So what you have here in an equitable distribution, it takes all those other things into account.
Got it. So let's say you have a home and you did the majority of the work fixing everything up on that house. You, in essence, could maybe get a little more equity of the home out of it. Or if somebody had an inheritance before you got married. So all those types of things are in the state of New York. We can't talk about like all the other states, but those things are kind of looked at.
Correct. So in New York, inheritance money is generally separate property, as long as you keep it separate.
Okay.
Can't put it in the joint bank account
it's commingled.
and say we have a separate property issue. So that's one thing. With the marital residence, you could be entitled to a increase in value share if you've done work on the house to increase its value. So even if you're not the titled owner, because New York's not necessarily a title state, you can still have a equitable share in a residence depending on work and improvements that have been done.
Custody too, that's hard. So at what age does a child get to decide, hey, I want to live with this parent or that parent? Is it 16 here in New York? Or?
So there's no real hard age.
Okay.
So it's really based on the child's presence and maturity, as each child presents a little bit different. Custody is probably the one area that is mostly litigated. I can settle 99% of my divorces on finances. The custody will go to trial. That's probably the hardest area of law that there really is, and probably the most litigated area of law.
What about pets?
New York has a new standard.
I was going to ask you, okay, tell me about that.
New York has a new standard. It's the best interest of the pet.
Okay.
It's actually rather new. My firm actually had to prosecute one of these cases fairly recently in Suffolk County. And it really, it extends out similar to the best interest of the child, but not quite to that extent, as to who's the caretaker, who's the one that's really done any maybe training with the dog, who does the feeding, who does the walking, who takes the medical care for the animal.
Okay.
So there's definitely a standard now.
Well, that's good. I think because I feel that that's also really in the pet's best interest too, right?
Right.
It's not a piece of, property where it's like, oh, that's my cup,
Right.
Like, because pets have, a life of their own too. We've done a lot of stories on pets and it's amazing. Pet parents are like some of the most passionate people that there are. Speaking of passion, you are devoted to helping others, whether it's veterans or also people that have had abuse issues in the past. Can you talk to us about that, about who you are in the community helping others?
Sure. So I do a lot of work with the Suffolk County Bar Association where I'm on the board.
Okay.
So I work with the Veterans Law Clinic, which every year hosts an event at the Bar Association in Suffolk County where veterans can come in free of charge and get legal advice in any walk of life or area of law that they need. I then take on those that have family and or matrimonial issues, and I will usually take them on pro bono, so no legal cost to them, and we take those cases on. I also do a legal clinic with the U.S. Marine Detachment, 247 in Bayshore, New York, as well as other, during the course of the year, I do other veteran events.
Lovely. And what about those that are suffering from abuse issues?
Sure. So, you know, the legal community, the legal field is probably one of the most afflicted with drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
Addiction is a difficult topic. And, you know, to be an attorney, you're a type A, right? You know, you're not the kind of person that's going to go asking for help and reaching out. So I work on the Lawyers Helping Lawyers Committee, and what we do is we're able to maintain a 12-step meeting for attorneys that are dealing with addiction problems and alcohol issues, as well as, you know, hotline numbers to call if you need additional help, medical treatment. So we like to be there and help the attorney be a better attorney and be a better person, because sometimes what we do gets to be a little too heavy.
A little stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand what you're talking about. I also like that you said that you'd be willing to take calls from other people in other states, just if they needed to set up a similar group, you'd be welcoming them to learn how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've actually started working with Nassau County and some of the other county counterparts on this type of program. New York State has a robust program as well at the New York State Bar Association. So absolutely, if there's anyone else out there that wants to reach out and kind of figure out how to set up a program to assist lawyers in dealing with alcohol and drug addiction, I'd be more than willing to help.
Thank you so much. Yay, George Pammer, Esquire. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yes, and good luck on all your pet cases and your people cases.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Stay tuned for more. We're living it up right here. Be well. Joining us now is Elizabeth Alexander. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's so nice to have you. We got a chance to talk on the phone. I'm so impressed with all that you have created. It's absolutely wonderful. You have your own reading method, right? Called the Alexander Reading Method. Elizabeth, what makes this more, what differentiates this from other programs?
Sure. So I actually spent many years researching phonics methods, other methods, what was being taught in schools. And I had been working with children in New York City who were in second, third grade and who were behind, but not because they weren't intelligent. It's just there were missing gaps in what was being taught in school with the curriculums. And I decided one day there's no reason for children to be behind in the US, even though the scores are so low. There's just these missing gaps. How about I put this curriculum together that follows the basic phonetic patterns and stuff that you would look for in a phonetic program, but it just corrected a few things that would help children retain information better and do better in later grades as well. So for example, in first grade, children are taught many levels of reading levels, and they can't catch up because it's just too much in one grade. So they fall behind in the later grades that follow. So this method actually starts when you're in preschool, and it takes you at your own pace, play-based, helping you reach these levels so that you can go into first grade ahead, not fall behind, and then of course stay ahead in the later years that follow.
So with this reading program, it's multi-dimensional, I'll say. So you have both tutoring, but you also have the ability to have some materials for people that are homeschooled, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
so
So
what
what happened?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So walk us through that process. What are some of the offerings, ways that people can engage and help their preschoolers be learning ready?
Sure. So the program takes you from fine motor skills and letter learning for a preschooler, and it takes you to a second grade level. And so we have the tutors. We're in 4 different states. So if we're somewhere that you're there, New York, LA, Miami, Greenwich. We're in Miami and Palm Beach. Actually, you can search us up and we could help tutor your child, or all these materials are what our teachers use in the classroom with these kids. And so you can actually purchase them yourself and do them yourself. And we're also looking into a subscription model, because we've learned that there's about 4 million parents now homeschooling their children, and they're looking for curriculum. They're looking for good reading programs. So we can offer that, and preschools as well. Any preschools that are interested in starting a little younger, our materials are amazing for that. So there's different tiers. You can either use one of our tutors in person or online, or you can take these beautiful materials and use them in your classroom or as a homeschooling parent.
They are absolutely beautiful. You know, like a lot of times the letters, Elizabeth, in the phonics things that you see are just so simplistic. But with yours, it actually sounds things out. You know, so your A card is represented in a different way. You have materials and workbooks that are interactive, they're engaging. You know, you show people how to form the letter. I was just so impressed with the entire, when I opened up your package of the materials, how thoughtful they were, how durable they are, how well made, how nicely printed they are. I was like, I wanted to be a teacher. I mean, I don't even have a preschooler, Elizabeth. And I was like, I want to play this way. I want to learn this way. They're just like nothing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I had researched and used and looked at all the programs, and some of them are amazing, but they're amazing for practice, not necessarily for instruction. So these are really step-by-step instruction. There's color coding. There's large font for little kids that don't want to see the small font. The letters are taught as mothers and babies, so children can relate. It's just a really fun, everything that we created, I wanted it to be something that wasn't out there yet it would still align with, for example, if you're working on CVC words in school or blends and digraphs or whatever pattern it is, you can actually use one of the levels to support that learning. So you can either use the whole program, or you can actually use a level at a time if you want to just support your learning with the curriculum you're already using. But they're a lot of fun. And the inspiration for a lot of these things came to me while I was working with dyslexic children. And my gift is being able to sit with a child and see where they're just looking at you like, I don't get what you're saying, and try something that'll actually help them personally learn. And so I was working with these children who needed creativity. They couldn't just sit there and, read a book with you. They wanted to have fun, or else they were just not going to learn. And so I was like, okay, let's try this. And then there were things that I tried so many times that worked every time for that type of child that I went, you know what, let's create something to help these children because it's not out there. Or for example, the writing, learning how to write. It's very unique to teach writing by direction. So if you think of a little child and you're trying to learn A, it's going this way, B is going a different way. So instead of that, we teach by direction. So C letters, you have a C. If you want to learn baby A, you're going to make a C and then go down. You learn all the same directional letters so that they're getting that little memorization in. So everything is very unique, which I'm very proud of.
It is a stunning offering. We spoke on the phone and I was excited and very engaged in your journey. And I was like, I really want to, offer this to my audience. And then, like I said, when the products and the materials came in, I was like, this is something I feel like every family needs. This should be the standard way of learning because it's comprehensive. It's easy. Like you said, it's engaging with play and it works. Right? And the way that things are sounded out, I'm of the era when I was learning how to read, right? We had the one standard book. Everybody, see, spot, run, all these things. But I liked also the repetitiveness, like when you have like the W sound, right? And you're able to incorporate that in every sentence, the WH. Everything you did, Elizabeth, it's really phenomenal. Really, really
Thank
grand. You're welcome.
Thank
I was so happy to bring this to the audience, like I said, because it's impressive, it's important, Where do you see the future for preschoolers? With so many things changing, Elizabeth, what do you see is in the future for our youth, our children?
I mean, I would love to see this program in preschools because it really helps them get started. And really, it's in a fun way. There's so many people that don't understand that children are ready to learn if it's taught through play. So a lot of, kind of older mindsets will just be like, nope, 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 nothing until the child's 7. But really what's happening in the school system is that there's nothing happening in preschool. Yes, they're having fun, but there's these grades, preschool and kindergarten, where not much is being taught, which is okay. But when you're dealing with a school system like in the US, where so much information is taught in first grade and children can't keep up, you want to have a child going into first grade already prepared and having done so and learning all that at their own pace. So think preschool is 2 years, K is 1 year. You have those 3 years where a child can have fun at home or in the classroom. And we have presented the earlier levels of the program to some preschools who were showing interest, but it's a really new thing. And a lot of these preschoolers, the children are staying there all the way till age 5.5. And you can learn so much between the ages of 3.5 and 5.5. And again, through play, not being pushed, just a few times a week, a little practice. And we also use, besides my program, I make sure that our teachers use actual games. So it feels like they're on a play date. So for example, we might take Candyland out and put Candyland on the table. And we have our learning materials next to it. And we play the game with the child. And at the end of each step or a few steps, they stop and they read something, or they jump up and they do a sound, or whatever it needs to be. So they're constantly looking forward to like winning the game and being on a play date with you, essentially. And then just the confidence that comes from seeing a little child go, I hate reading, or a 5 or 6 year old saying, I hate reading. It's not because they hate reading. It's just they don't know how to do it yet. They need something that will help them want to do it. So once you get them going with something that's play-based and they start to see their progress, then it's like, oh, mommy, see what I did. And they get so proud of themselves, as opposed to not teaching that child anything, being in first grade and showing up and getting tested for the first time in reading and being put in the bottom group. Children at that age compare each other, right? And I'm not saying every child needs to be a genius, but wouldn't you want your child to just go in not feeling completely lost, right?
Absolutely.
So that's the whole idea.
Yeah, you want to give them the best foot forward that you possibly can, whether it's nutrition or education. Your program is so comprehensive. Again, congratulations, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us and sharing your knowledge so that we also can help our audience, with stronger, happier, joyful brains, and it all starts somewhere, and it can begin as early as preschool. Thank you once again for being here. Okay, take care. Happy journeys to you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Okay, that's Elizabeth Alexander. And I am telling you, you have to get your hands on these materials. They're that good. It's an enriching experience for both the person that's bringing the material forward to the child and the child. It's great. And like I said, I would have loved to have learned to read this way. Thanks for watching. Joining us now are 3 members of the team of Circle Wellness. We have Matthew, Peter, and Dr. F. Welcome to the show, guys. How are you?
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, glad to have you here. So Matthew, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
Tell us what your specialty is at Circle Wellness.
I am the lead acupuncturist.
Okay. Peter?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm the head massage therapist.
Lovely. And Dr. F?
We take care of all the referrals. I'm in charge of making sure the patients get their referrals and also providing them with trigger point and osteopathic manipulative treatment care.
Nice. And also when somebody's ill, you're able to help them too. Like, hey, I have a sore throat, something like that. I like this idea. And you're also neighbors to the studio, which is also wonderful. So we got a call and we were talking about the fact that you created this environment where it's a holistic approach to a human. So from the moment that they walk through the door, someone's going to be able to help them feel better on the way out. So,
Correct.
Matthew, how long have you been doing what it is that you do?
I've been a massage therapist for about 11 years, and I've been acupuncturist for about 8 years.
Okay. And what do you enjoy best about the environment?
About the environment?
Yeah, about
The
working
peers,
there.
people, yeah, the people I work with and helping people.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really nice. Peter, tell us about what you specialize in and the environment that you enjoy working at.
I specialize in functional bodywork, so I trained under a Rolfer. And my goal really, I like helping people with complex problems get better.
Okay.
The environment is honestly, you should definitely come in.
I'm going to.
It's really wonderful. It's very fun. It's very uplifting. We really, really, really do a great job at our
It's kind of like a human car wash. I feel like I could just walk. I feel like I could walk in there and be like,
That's a
okay,
great
guys,
analogy.
this is what's bothering me.
Yeah.
Make my circle complete. Make me
100%.
holistically feel better.
100%.
Right? Oh my gosh. Was it Michelangelo who did the drawing of the human, right?
Yes.
It's
Right.
right. And they're in a circle. That's what I see when I'm talking to you guys. So Dr. Bruce, tell us when you started working there also what your feelings were. Like what makes Circle Wellness like a little different?
The thing that makes Circle Wellness different, and it might sound like cliche, but we actually care about our patients. We don't bring them in just to take care of them because, they're there. We actually look at their problem. We try to fix their main problems. And it's not just physical, but it's emotional, it's mental, it's spiritual. It's all encompassing, like the circle. And we try to make sure that they get the best need for what is indicated for them. Whether it's the massage, whether it's acupuncture, whether it's the trigger points, osteopathy, or they just need someone to listen and whatnot. The whole idea is they come in broken, as you said, but they leave feeling better about themselves and being more complete and able to function in the day-to-day world. Because, let's face it, pain as we get older is going to be there, but we just want to make sure we're functional and we can do our day-to-day tasks and go through life, basically.
I also want to get down on a mat with you guys. Like you do yoga there too,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Oh,
So do you
absolutely.
do that as a team sometimes? Like does everybody just take a lunch break? I think that would be fun.
We haven't yet, but
Okay.
we're gonna.
We like the
I think
idea?
you just suggested it,
Yeah,
yes.
we're gonna do a team building, some yoga nidra, I
Okay.
think for the staff.
I took yoga and billiards in college. I needed 2 PE credits, right? So I remember some like sun salutation and things like that.
Right.
But I really do like your holistic approach to your patients. It sounds like a really great vibe there. How long have you been open? It's fairly new, right?
We've been open since June 2nd.
Okay.
But we've been around since before that. We came together with Dr. F and we rebranded.
Nice. Congratulations, guys.
Thank
really,
you.
really exciting news. So somebody can come, do you take insurances or they're all private pay? Or does it depend?
Both.
You do both, little
Yes.
combination of both.
Yeah. Correct.
So somebody could call and find out more information because you have a front desk.
Absolutely.
And a
Absolutely.
concierge.
Yes.
So it's right? It's kind
Yeah.
of like a club, Circle Wellness.
It's really nice.
Right?
Yeah, it is kind of like a club.
It's kind of like a club. Thank you very much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
If you want to have a holistic approach to your wellness and you happen to be on Long Island, please visit them. And if you're not in Long Island and you're anywhere in the world, but you want to have something like this in your city, give them a call. I'm sure they'll help you set it up. Thanks for watching. Joining us now is Chris, and we're going to be talking about his book, No Ceilings, No Excuses. I like that. That's clever and fun and
Thank you.
uplifting. So tell us about your journey. Let's talk about you being an author first.
So yeah, saw an Instagram ad about 6 months ago. It's like, got a crazy story, you want to write a book, click here, click there, just for fun. 4 hours later, after a crazy Zoom where I laughed, I cried, they pulled every emotion out of me possible. They emailed me a suggested titles template, and obviously you go in, you change a lot. But I did it. I buried my head in, and it took me about maybe, I don't know, like a year or something like that.
Really?
And decided to share my story, put myself out there a little bit, talk about all the different jobs I had, the crazy childhood I had growing up, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, And then I talk about the business that I started about 8 years ago where I help small businesses grow.
Now, when you talk about helping a small business grow, do you help them with like logo design or get a website or how to do credit card processing? Walk me through. Let's pretend like I don't own a business.
Yeah.
I'm like, hi, Chris, I'm here. I want to open a business. What are you helping me do?
So lately, it seems like a little bit of everything, which I'm happy to do for everyone. But primarily, the focus is to help a business get set up to take payments. And I work with all different business types, hair salons, auto mechanic shops, bakeries, pizzerias, restaurants, bars, you name it. Sometimes I do just a little basic credit card machine just so they could take, credit cards. Other times I do a full point of sale system where, if you're in a restaurant or a bar, they have to enter the order. They have to keep, time clock for the employees, do inventory, everything like that. So part of my job is figuring out what the business needs so I could give them the best possible solution. And I'll set up the system, I'll train the staff, I'll support the system. And it's become a passion of mine, and I didn't even realize it. But I graduated from Nassau Community College, and one of the hardest classes for me, but it was actually the most rewarding, was the communication class. And I didn't realize that communication is more than speaking, it's actually connection. And that's the part of my job that I love the most. After being a union steamfitter for 14 years, it's a total change of pace, and I couldn't love it more. So.
I was going to ask you, when you said that the intake made you say laugh and cry and things like that, what would you say is a challenge for you that you've overcome that helps you? Because starting a business, you're either leaving a job that you've hated, right? You're taking a chance, you're risking it all, right? So what was the challenge that made you say, I want to do this instead?
Well,
because that's bravery.
It's hard. It's hard, it's no matter what you do in life, it's going to be hard, right? But you have to be passionate about it. There's days waking up 4:30 in the morning, I have to be in the city by 6 doing construction. My knees are screaming, I'm working under a stage with cockroaches. There's a lot of hard days as a steam fitter.
Okay.
And at a certain point, you hit a ceiling. And you could say, hey, I'm okay with making X, or I want to try to make more in my life. And if you just do what I call reverse math, which is one of the topics I discuss in my book, you could quickly realize that the American dream of owning your own house is extremely hard unless you're making a certain amount of money. The average house on Long Island is about, $700,000-800,000, right, nowadays. If you look back 5 years, it's much cheaper. But in a few years, the average house price on Long Island is going to be over $1 million.
It will be. And then how are you going to come up with that 20% down? It's 20%, a lot.
Yeah, but even if, let's say, you get the 5% down or 10% down, whatever, your mortgage payment is going to be, $6,000, $7,000 a month with the interest rates and everything. So call it, you need to make $100,000 a year, right? Because then after taxes, now you're going to dedicate all that money towards your mortgage. You didn't even flip a light switch on yet. You didn't even put food in your belly yet. So you have to make at least $250,000 a year to really be comfortable if you want that American dream of owning your own house, which I did. So I realized that I hit my ceiling, and I said, screw that. I love Willy Wonka. I wanted to be Charlie at the end of the movie when he smashes through the glass ceiling, right? And I said, no ceiling, and I took what a lot of other people used as an excuse, and I used it as my fuel so I could get where I want to go in life.
Love your passion.
So I looked in the mirror and I said, am I going to, woe is me, am I going to be sad, depressed, and be stuck in this one place? Or am I going to, use
shake it up.
Yeah, shake it off. As Taylor Swift says, you got to shake it off.
So you decided to do this, and you've been doing it. You've been helping a lot of businesses grow.
Over 500 now,
Congratulations for that,
Thank
Chris.
you very
much.
much.
That's really wonderful. Speaking of Willy Wonka, I did get a chance to interview all of them on my show.
way.
I did. You'll have to go on my YouTube.
I'm so jealous.
And the other cool thing is I just bought the Lego set. It's my first Lego set, okay?
What?
Yeah, my boys, they've always played with Lego, and I just saw it, and I said, I need that.
Oh, that's so
Because my grandparents
cool.
sold candy for a living, and I was like, I was all about that.
Who doesn't love candy?
I know. I'll be like building my chocolate river later today. But it's so nice to meet you, Chris.
Very nice to meet you as well.
Happy journeys to you. So no ceiling, no excuses. No ceiling, no excuses. I'm going to read the book. Be well.
Thank you.
Joining us now is Karlos, and we are going to be joining him via, I think you're in another country. Karlos, where are you calling in from?
Yes, currently I'm in Barbados, Donna.
Barbados. Very nice, very
Yeah.
lovely. So you have had a wonderful career in music so far, and right now you have a new offering that's coming out the end of September, and it's called Blessed. Walk us through
That's
that
right.
project. Yeah, I want to know who worked with you on it and what we're in store for.
Sure, sure. So September 26th, the best date and the best month, you'll be getting a brand new single called Blessed. And I had the privilege of working with a few people on it. Ugly Josh, he's based in Atlanta. He mixed and mastered the record. And I'm so glad that we were finally able to put it all together. And, this song is just encouraging everyone to remember that we are blessed. Like, no matter what you may face in life, no matter what setbacks, as you have your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, on the way, you will have some obstacles. But guess what? Always remember that you're blessed, and always remember that God is with you in the process.
Well, my television show, as I was sharing with you, Karlos, was divinely gifted to me. I dreamt the whole thing in color, December 28th of 2008. I sold my house, I sold everything I owned, and I just went on this journey because the television show really doesn't even really belong to me. It's like it was this big dream, right? This big blessing that came forth. And I love interviewing people and being able to shine a light on them. And I know that you are very much in a similar way. Like, tell us about your company, because you're also the CEO of a company, and it's all about giving back and showcasing excellence.
That's right.
And yes, tell me about Quest.
Sure. So Quest International is all about the youth. A company with the youth in mind is mindful of the future. The youth are definitely the future, and the goal for Quest, what we seek to do is pretty much use the arts to positively impact them so that they can be marketable assets for the future wherever they are. Particularly, we are targeting youth in Barbados, also youth in the USA as well. So Quest International is a 501c3 in the US of A and Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm grateful for our board of directors, which includes Mr. Dave Sahadev, also Reverend Charles Kears, Charles Johnson, Sissy Spencer Cross, Azanai Israel, as well as Mr. Lord help me remember, Eileen Marcial of Wills and More. Yes, I love her. Yeah, so we are here for the youth. You can check us all out. If you care about youth and care about the arts, connect with us at Quest International.
Now, one of the things that I liked about you when I met you here in person in the studio is that you're very vibrant, like you're very colorful and you have like a lot of joy that just kind of exudes from you, right? Where did you learn that from? Where did you get that sense of joy and fulfillment from?
Sure. Well, I guess it's just, growing up with family, my family, they're just people, persons, growing up in church as well too. My mother's nickname is Light. That's what she likes to use. So I guess I try to be a light wherever I go, and, however I can be a blessing to someone else's life, trying to figure out, where they are trying to get in life, whether it may be a young person, they might not be passionate about the arts, but it may be something that I will be able to pour into their lives, whether it may be one encouraging word, or some kind of advice to get them a little further in their journey.
Well, I thank you a lot for being here. And I wanted to also talk about the fact that when you're starting a new musical project, right, whether it's just, something that's kind of like small and just intimate and the song just kind of resonates within your community, or whether it ends up becoming part of like a Grammy-nominated project, right? What is the first step that you're taking to bring something to life, to bring it forth? What is your process?
Okay. Well, when it comes to records, I do not record unless I'm inspired. I look at what's going on in society, just like the previous song, Good Vibes, for instance. And I looked at what was just going on. There was a lot of crime, I'm recognizing, in Barbados, as well as, the USA and other territories. And, we have to ask ourselves, why are these young people getting involved in so much crime? And what can we do to pretty much help subside that crime? So I looked at myself after some conversations that I had a good chat with a friend of mine, Reddy Nelson. And he's like, Karlos, it's worse that we look and see what's happening than to actually, give to what is happening in society. And that's why I decided to get in the booth. To challenge myself, to share to my community. And Good Vibes is just all about, encouraging the community to carry that out. Good vibes all day, good vibes every day, good vibes all night. No matter what, try to be that person that does some kind of good in your community to bring about positive change. And I think that is what is necessary. So when it comes to me creating work, I only do it based upon inspiration. I don't just create music or create anything as a product to sell per se. That comes along with it, but that's not the purpose or the heart behind what I do. So the heart behind what I do is to really touch people in a positive way, whether it may be song, drama, dance, acting, what have you. I just want to shed some light on you people and shed some love, man.
I thank you so much for joining us. So from here in New York all the way to Barbados, thank you, Karlos, so very much. And people could go to your website, they could go to your Insta, and they could find out more about ways that they could get involved, correct?
Yes, most definitely. You could get my song, Blessed or Good Vibes, or any of the songs that I would have done on any digital platform. But Blessed is going to be available on my birthday, September 26th. Check it out. And also, if you want to connect with Quest, you can connect with us at kwestinternational.com or email us at info@questinternational.com.
Thank you, my friend. Bye. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Okay, be well.
Thank you,
Bye.
Donna.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
With us now are Diana and Danny, and we're going to be talking about BeFit Smoothies. Hello and hello.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Nice to be here with you. You have an origin story, right? So tell us about that. How did this product line begin?
So in 2018, the founder of BeFit moved from Colombia to the United States, and from there, she changed her diet. Obviously, you know how in Colombia the food is less processed compared to here in the United States. It was a hard process for her, and from there, she gained weight, she got sick, fatigue often, and by 2020, she realized that something had to change. From there, she began to study nutrition, test out fruits and vegetables, and then turns out she created a miracle juice. Everybody loved it, and they realized that the world needed it.
Exactly. I love that. So Diana, you've always been into physical fitness, correct?
Correct.
So how did you and Danny start working with this brand?
So I met her at this event, and I tried her smoothie, which she has one that it's green detox, and it's amazing. Usually when you see green, you very protect them, and you'll be like, oh, should I try or not? And I tried it, and it was delicious.
Okay, so these have really wonderful ingredients in them,
Sure.
right? Now, do they come frozen when you buy them? Do they arrive on dry ice, or do they arrive loose? Or can you get them in different ways?
So obviously right now, we are based out in New Jersey. We have two different packagings. We have the ready to go, which is what you see right here.
Okay.
And then we also sell frozen pulps. The frozen pulps last around 2 months, while the ready to go can last you around 2 weeks. The goal is that everything is to be fresh because we want our clients to receive the best product possible.
I can understand that. Now, this is fun. I see a lot of people doing these, right? What is this?
Ginger shots.
Ginger. Okay. Does it taste like ginger, like when you're having like chopsticks and you're doing the miso and the soy and you're having Japanese food and then you taste ginger? Is that what this is made out of? Like ginger root?
Yes, it's natural.
It is
all
natural.
natural.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I'm going to check.
It's got a good kick.
Hello. It does. But you know what? It makes me feel like I'm doing something healthy for myself.
Exactly.
Yep.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yes.
It's boom. It's got a punch, but it's nice.
Correct.
I like it. And I already feel healthier. No, I'm just kidding. But okay, so you have ginger shots, you have this, you also have something that I guess is like more of a concentrate. Like what is that is frozen? A bag that you can
So
mix your own?
that's the frozen pulp.
Okay.
We have different types. Obviously, we do the green detox in frozen pulps. You can unfreeze it, add coconut water, blend it, and then you have the juice ready to go. And then we also do a different type where you can do like your own acai bowl.
Exactly.
Oh, I like that idea.
and add protein. You can play around with it.
And that's what's in here?
Yes, correct.
I did see something that looked kind of, I'm just gonna
That's your gift.
look inside the bag here. Okay, so the pulp you can use, tell me that again. You take a little bit and you can use it.
You can
make
mix
your
it.
own asi roll. Now
Yeah.
this is green, right? So
Yes. Correct.
I could use this for either.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. You could just put it in the blender, put a little bit of coconut water, and then just blend it, and then that's it. It's ready.
Love it. Love it.
Pretty
love it,
simple.
Love it.
And ready to get.
Thank you, Diana and Danny. And since you've been drinking the juice, you guys feel a little bit more energy?
Amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clients
I-
are saying the same thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good to grow.
Yes.
Good to grow. We both were talking about longevity, all three of us, and it matters to me as well. So
For sure.
health is wealth.
Definitely.
Yes.
No matter
Correct.
what, health
That's
is
very
wealth.
important to us, and it's important for our team as well.
Congratulations, BeFit
Thank
Smoothies.
you so
Thank you.
much.
Nice to have you here. BeFit Smoothies. I'm into it, and I hope you are as well. Into your health. With us once again is our Evan Hirsch. Hello.
Hello, so good to be back.
Woohoo! So, just this weekend,
It was quite a weekend.
quite a weekend.
Speechless.
Absolutely quite. I am too. It was fabulous. I remember going to your first fashion show in New York City to this one. This was, I mean, incredible, off the charts, Evan. There were so many people there. There were so many paparazzi. You had 29 different looks. What just happened? What just happened?
So this was definitely a pivotal fashion show in my career. I was lucky enough to partner with shopgoodwill.com, which, if you've been following my story for a little bit, so it was this pretty much just unassuming red dress that I found at the local Goodwill. I added hours and hours of beadwork to it and my own special flair, and I returned it back to the rack with the same $6 price tag, and it just went crazy viral. And that's how the team at Shop Goodwill saw my video, and it led to this incredible partnership for Fashion Week.
So many wonderful things have happened. It got picked up by local news and like national newspapers. And then our friend Giovanna, who now works for Fox in Detroit, called you and she says, Evan, there's just a package that came through, right?
Yes, it was crazy how much. And it just started, first it was the New York Post wanted to write an article about it. Then we found out the day of we were on Good Morning America. Then we found out that our story made it to Fox 5 and Detroit and all of these places. And then, of course, the culmination is being on the Donna Drake show.
Oh, you're so adorable. So the sustainability aspect of it is that you took items that were just donated to the Goodwill, and then you embellished all of them, and you completely transformed them into other things.
Yes, and a huge part of it is I didn't know the items I was going to get. We had talked back and forth with shopgoodwill.com if we wanted to pick things together, but we
Okay.
almost wanted to make it a challenge where they would just put a box of 50 dresses, send it to me, and it would just be like this crazy challenge of trying to get them runway ready. So we had that, and then I also created a QR code so people at the runway show could scan it and see what each of the looks looked like before they went down the runway and before I transformed them.
So much, so exciting, right? And all garments that people could wear. They're like the ability to now have something that's even more special than
Yes.
how it came in.
I had to keep that in mind because a huge part of our collaboration is after the show, 15 of the looks are going to go on shopgoodwill.com, and they have an auction platform where people can actually bid in real time and get one of their favorite looks from the runway show and have it. So that was super important to me, and all of the proceeds are going to go back to Goodwill's mission, which is supporting creating opportunities and jobs for people. So that makes it a whole new level of special for me.
I'm excited for that too, like the whole give back. It's such an amazing story. I've been a fan of Shop Goodwill for quite a long time.
Yes.
And it's wonderful, the things that they do and the ability to just bring all of that forth for people. Sustainability is in now. You've been doing it for a really long time, and so have they, but like it's kind of really interesting to go thrifting or to go shopping or to not just, fill up more landfills, but
Yeah.
to have things have a new life.
That's what Shop Goodwill said. Our collaboration came at the perfect time because people are more conscious about what they're buying, and they are more conscious about the environment, and they want to keep it so that they're not creating more waste or having their garments go in landfills. And we could buy new. That's always a great thing, you know, to have that feeling of going and shopping and finding something new. But there are thrift stores filled with, you know, thousands and millions of pieces of clothing that just need a new home. So I was glad to do that.
Need a new, like, Evan Hirschness to it.
Yes, 100%.
So great to see you. Congratulations once again. I've always been a fan, but we're also friends. And it was exciting for me to watch all the heads turn, like in the front row and then that next row and that next row. And they were just watching the models and the garments go through. And they were like making comments like, you know, like that hush of a, ooh, ooh, I like that. That one's nice. Ooh, I'd wear that, right? It was fun. It was exciting for me to be there for you and celebrate you.
I'm so glad you were there.
Talking about celebrations,
Yes.
you're off tonight to do something called Made in New
Yes,
York.
the Made in New York Awards at Gracie Mansion. I'm going to be celebrating that, and I'm very, very excited to see all the recipients and all the people who are making great waves in New York. And I've also am attending my friend Caroline Zimbalist's show. She also makes a lot of sustainable fashion, so that's going to be incredible. And then the previous week to promote my show, I was at the grand finale of Downton Abbey, the premiere. So it was definitely a busy week promoting, but I'm so glad I got to share it with you.
And you also went to go see your favorite.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Lady Gaga. I went not once, I went twice because I was like, once is not enough. And
Yeah.
I was obviously, it was like being in the greatest place on earth. I didn't want to leave. The show was over, the house lights were on, and I was like,
Oh, Evan.
you're gonna have to drag me out of here, pretty much. So, how
Well,
could I
maybe
forget that?
someday you'll get to do a collaboration with her team.
That's my dream. That's when I'll know that I finally made everything that I've wanted to accomplish is
Really?
when I get to work with Lady Gaga.
Well, it's been fun to watch your career thus far. It's wonderful that you're doing so many exciting things, and I hope they raise a lot of money. That would be so fabulous.
Me
I might have
too.
to go look at a look and make a bid myself because some of those fashions were fabulous.
And if, you know, heaven forbid you don't win the auction, I will make one for you, no problem. You got my first ever sustainable messenger bag.
I did, and I
you
wore it proudly.
to the show.
I wore it to the show. I did. It was an upcycled Ralph Lauren polo
Like a
jacket from the
cargo jacket,
70s,
yes.
cargo jacket. And you made me a messenger bag. I wore that with pride. Indeed, I did, walking right in there.
I was
so.
surprised it was in one piece.
It is. You did a
Like
good
it
job.
was.
Thanks, Ev.
Thank you,
So good to
Donna.
see you. There you go. Evan Hirsch. I know by now you're following him because you're following the show. We all love Evan. But this is really unique. This is really special. So please go to Shop Goodwill if you can and check out the looks. Be well. Joining us now is Marla McKenna. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, Donna. Thanks so much for having me. It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to see you once again as well. We started our journey and our friendship years ago when we were doing a book called Manifesting Your Dreams together.
We did.
And
we did.
I remember you saying that one of your dreams was to get Oprah's attention for that book, and you did. Like
We
you
did.
manifested
We
it
did.
you manifested it right from the pizza parlor, right? You know, that was
You-
quite.
You and I both did that. I had your help too.
I do remember sitting in that pizzeria at that Formica table, and you're like, "Well, you know
Right?
what,
Like
Donna?
5 years ago.
Yeah, you're like, this is what I would want to happen," and ding, you know, it was really that easy. Sometimes when you're in the flow in life, I believe that the universe conspires on your behalf, and the right
I believe
path
so,
and the right, it just kind of works. So Manifesting Your Dreams was a wonderful, powerful book, and then you decided to invite some of those authors back to also put together Take Back Your Power, right? So
Yes,
I've been, yeah, it's been such a great thing. So these are stories that you've collected. And what was the premise of this book? Why did you want to do this book, Take Back Your Power?
Well, Manifesting Your Dreams was so successful with people wanting to share their stories, and it really helped a lot of people of how they worked through challenges and struggles to make their dreams come true. And I thought, you know, I want to write another book about how important it is for us to take back our power when something like, that happens in our life. I have a children's book called I'm a Secret Superhero. And, I share that story with children about how it is important with positive mindset and believing in themselves. And I wanted to write a companion book for adults. And it was an opportunity for some of the same authors and new people to share different struggles in their lives, And it just brought us all together, and it made such a difference in the lives of our readers.
Then the other nice thing that you did on this book is that you built like a collaborative space for the authors, right? There was like a Facebook group where people could support one another. I thought you did a really great job to make that like a cohesive, collective experience, right? And what you did is you also put inspirational quotes, like for Karen Carr, she wrote, "You're braver than you believe and stronger than you seem and smarter than you think," by A.A. Milne. So that for her was like something that gave her inspiration to help her take her power back. I don't know what your quote is, Marla, but what was your quote? Do you know yours by heart?
Well, I used in manifesting what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Then take back your power. I used the Bible scripture, I can do all things through Christ. Because a lot of the authors in the book use their faith to bring them through their journeys. We were all bonded together by sharing stories from health issues to cultural diversities, marriage, divorce, getting through death. There's a critical incident that happened from a police officer where he had to use force to keep some of the patrons in a store safe. And there was a healing journey for all of us in this book as we wrote it, and then as the authors, as the readers read it, because it was like had happened twice for us. We rewrote it, everyone read it and shared it with us, and it was just made a big difference in the lives of our readers. It was really exciting. And for me, it was my faith that got me through.
Ah, very, very nice. For me, my quote was, "Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind." Dr. Seuss.
Exactly.
This book I'm
One
on
of my
page
favorites.
39, and it was basically a continuation of how I've manifested this dream from December 28th of 2008 till now, till today, not just with the TV show, but actually the studio, which was the same building that I was in the late 90s and the early 2000s, and how we were able to transform this entire newsroom into the studio that we have today. So it's just a delight to have you. So nice to have you here with us once again, Marla. And this book, where can we get the book?
So the book is available on Amazon.com, but also all the individual authors have shared their websites and places where they can get them. You can find my website at marlamckenna.com for this book and all my books too.
Excellent. And I love the fact that you also put a lot of pictures in the book, so it's an easy read, it's a fun read, it's one of a kind. So Take Back Your Power, I recommend it, not just because I'm one of the authors in the book, but it's actually a nice collection of stories. Thanks, Marla, for being here.
Thank you so much.
See you soon, my friend. Bye.
Okay, good.
And also, just on a personal side note, I just wanted to let the audience know that my godmother, my Aunt Connie, that was in the first book with me, Manifesting Your Dreams, she also wrote a chapter in this book, and she since has passed. So right after her passing is when it became published, and it's dedicated to her. And her name is Cornelia Sexauer, and yesterday was her birthday. So happy birthday to you, Aunt Connie. I love you very much. And there you go. Take back your power. Be well. Bye, guys. Joining us now is Savannah Lay.
Hi, Donna. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, I love traveling. I always have. I've always been someone to get in the car and go. So tell us about your product, which is Celebrate States Box.
Yeah, so Celebrate States is a monthly subscription box that brings American travel to your doorstep. So I like to say that every Celebrate States box is really more than just products. It's kind of like an adventure, that's waiting to be unboxed. And it's just a really fun way to experience America from home. I think a lot of people are familiar with subscription boxes, but one thing that really sets us apart from many others is that every product that's within our boxes is made from small American businesses. So each month, you kind of get a different state with a different theme. You'll get 5 to 7 fun locally made products from wherever that state is. So for instance, we did Vermont for September, and that box was full of maple cocoa, maple syrup, a charcuterie board, candles, different things like that to really embody the state.
Okay. Now, is the price point of every box the same, or do they vary? So like if I say, I want to subscribe to these boxes, but I want to just do the Northeast, can I pick and choose that I want to do Maine, Boston, and something else? Or is it a subscription where each month you're going to get a surprise box?
Yep. So each month you're going to get a surprise box. Upon subscribing, you will be able to choose from a couple of our different past boxes. It kind of just depends where we're at in the year and what our stock and inventory looks like. And then each month you'll be surprised with whatever state we choose for that month. Generally, they're also going to align with the time of year. So again, Vermont, we really celebrated maple and just kind of those autumnal vibes.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Florida sunshine, right? Do you bring them sunshine in a can? I do remember going to Florida with my singing group. I was like 12, and they were literally selling a can, and all of it just said was like, Florida sunshine in a can. It was an empty can, but it was clever.
Well, you never forgot it.
There you go. But your products have a little more substance in the box.
Yeah, a little more substance. Like I said, they're all going to be typically from small vendors, right? Small local businesses. We always include food items. Everyone loves snacks, and to try, different items or snacks or treats that, small local vendors make. We do a lot of candles, a lot of useful items. So we always like to say, you're going to find something useful, unique, or yummy. And so it's going to be 5 to 7, just different items each month.
I love that. Congratulations to you, to your team. What a fun way to learn, but also to have something, different and unique so that you're bringing the states right into their home. I love that about this. Yeah. It's really cool, really clever. Yeah, congratulations. I'm from the state of Missouri, so I'm wondering if you have the Missouri box.
We haven't done Missouri yet. No, it's been, could be like a few years back. We haven't. Most recently, we did a lot of summer months. So we did like Georgia Harvest, California Dreamin'. This next month will be Haunted Desert Nights in Arizona. So Missouri will have to come a little later down the line.
Okay, and when it does, I'll tell you exactly what you want to put in it. You ready?
Okay,
you should put in a recipe for toasted ravioli. Okay, you should put in a recipe or some product to make gooey butter cake. Those are the two things, right? And St. Louis is actually the home of the very first ice cream cone, because in the 1904 World's Fair, they ran out of bowls, and so the waffle maker was standing next to the ice cream guy, and that's how the first ice cream cone was born in America.
I love that. We'll have to put that in one of our brochures because we always do different fun facts. So I won't forget that one.
There you go. Happy journeys to you. It was wonderful to have you on our show.
Thanks, Donna. Likewise.
Okay, be well. Take care, Savannah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, Celebrate States box. I'm ready for it. And they'll be adding, you'll be adding Missouri soon, I know, by next year. Take care. Bye-bye.
This is Donna Drake. Happy journeys.
Take my hand, come with me, and we'll find better ways to be something much more. Live it up, live it up.
Thanks for watching Live It Up. You can visit us at liveituptvshow.com.